Yeah. Thank you so much, Mighty Kiwi, as he typically does stream his own POV, just like Probe. So shout out to him. Um, and I'm keeping my eye on him. I'm looking forward to how he proceeds. Um, going into 2020, right? Since this is kind of his first year back in a long time. He's been gone for many
It's
years.
I mean, it's his first year back where he's seriously competing. He wasn't really. I mean, you have the semi-pros, right? Like Oreo, or even Probe, as a matter of fact, they both play StarCraft while they're studying. But
hmm
Mighty Kiwi did that for a while and then kind of didn't. But now he's doing that again.
Yeah, he is back, and
But he never stopped playing.
Mighty Kiwi is an interesting story, very interesting, because he's pretty young, but he's also from the older era, like from the era of Petraeus and Aegis.
Oh, not that old. Not that old. Okay.
Not that old. He's not in his 30s and he doesn't have a family with kids, right? He's not Crimson, okay? Let's calm down, right? Not that old.
Not? They're both from.
They are both from New Zealand. But yeah, like for those who don't know, I was actually talking to Kuro about this before. Mighty Kiwi, back in the day, 2014, 2013, he was in the Root House. He, in America, he was with Petraeus and Katz. They were practicing together, and Aegis as well. If you recall, they were all in the Root House together, streaming. And he wasn't on Roots, if you recall. He was actually on their academy team. He was in Seed. That was Root Gaming's academy sector. But yeah, he was always someone who one day was hoping maybe to eventually get on Root and his practice would come off and stuff. But yeah, things didn't really work out, and instead he returned back to New Zealand, and I thought that was going to be the end, but yeah, he's back, and that's kind of why I'm excited. I used to follow Root quite a bit. They were kind of like the Australian team in a way. They had all the best Australian players. Fenner was on Root as well.
It was actually kind of weird because Root was, I mean, it was based off of Latitude. Is that the right word? Is that the right thing I'm saying?
I don't know what you're trying to go for, so maybe.
Because Root back then, they were basically the best ANZ team, like you were talking about, but they were also one of the biggest teams in South America. And when I say South America, I mean really south.
South to the point where they hit Australia?
Yeah. Well, I guess more. Wait, is Peru up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah. No, Peru is north. Right. Not North America. I mean, in Latin America, Peru is in the northern part.
Kind of now that you mention it, I get Root is an oddity where, but at least in its heyday, they had people from every region, right? They had the ANZ players. They had Special for a time. Back then, he was called Major. He was on Root for a bit. Of course, they had Cats. Eventually, they had Kelazur. They had Koreans as well, like Supernova and Hydra. They had a bunch of Americans. Yeah, it's interesting because they were a pretty competitive team for a while. Especially because they had Hydra when Hydra was at his peak in WCS as well,
He did. Or that they did. Eventually, they got Hero in.
Yeah, they got Hero as well. I forgot about that. They got Hero. It's one of those things where StarCraft has a lot of history to it. And as a byproduct, a lot of the teams have a lot of history as well.
Yeah, StarCraft as a franchise has a lot of history to it, but StarCraft 2, that has almost half, or that takes up about half. Or look, I was trying to go for something that's really something that really made sense.
We didn't quite get there, but that's what you were going for.
Yeah, right? Exactly. One day.
Yes, the lobby is ready for this best of 5 finals.
Just gonna remind everybody in chat that this is gonna be a best of 5. So there's we'll have quite a lot more opportunity here, or should have a lot more opportunity here to really see the the extent of MeomaikA's galaxy brain and the extent of Probe's shield. He's the agent of shield. But whatever I was saying, forget about it, because now we are going in to actually see what's going to happen on Everdream. LE. LE, of course, standing for... I can't say that because that's part of the intro. It stands for Leggy Ephemeron. Leggy Ephemeron. That's an Ephemeron that, he's tall. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is going to be our blue Protoss, the only 2-time ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare champion, without a doubt the representative of the ANZ scene. And I gotta say now, Light, I think we're all kind of thinking it, absolutely the favorite going into this tournament. Mm-hmm. Can he bring it all the way? Representing Legacy Esports as well as Australia, it is Probe.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the best player in Southeast Asia, really, the representative of the C scene. We have, representing Far East Society Gaming, MeomaikA. Yeah, I said it.
Oh. You went that far, man. Ender,
I said it. I said
Ender.
it. Ender, where is he? Where is he?
Giving you the evil eye.
Where is he? He won SEA Games. Where is he? He hasn't played in GPO. He hasn't played in ESL Open Cup. What's he doing? Nothing.
Church, probably.
Nothing.
Hashtag called out. MeomaikA once again coming in with this Ling Team 6. Or actually, it's just a 4 to Swarm Force. He's gonna go
for the Swarm.
Way, but,
yeah. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't try and go immediately for that pylon powering the front wall, but instead going for workers, which is quite nice. 2 already and delaying a little bit of mining time. So far, so good for MeomaikA.
And most importantly, when you're going for a For the Swarm Force opening like this, he got the best scout that he possibly could. He sees a robo facility. He sees just about everything.
Exactly. He sees everything he needs to see. That's as much value as you can get with 4 Lings.
By the way, Jet pointing out here, Probe is the ANZ version of Neeb. I've been saying that for years. It may or may not have something to do with the fact that I looked at a picture of Probe and I thought it was Neeb.
I was going to say, you legitimately confused Probe with Neeb with their photos. And I was like, mate, they look nothing alike. You're like, nah, yeah, they're both blonde. I'm like, Neeb isn't blonde. Yeah. He's not blonde. God damn it.
It's certain lighting.
God damn it. There are comparisons between the 2 players. I wouldn't say one of them is the way they look. But...
That's the biggest comparison.
What are you talking about? They play Protoss. That's the comparison. Yeah. And they're both macro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But playstyle-wise, Neeb is much more like Trap than he is to Probe.
Oh my god.
Well, they're pretty similar. Okay, Neeb and Probe are pretty similar in terms of playstyle.
Oh my god.
But
all right,
they're
anyway.
similar in terms of appearance. Alright, speaking of playstyle, that's a quick forge coming out from Probe.
This is when we find out. This is where we find out that Yaku actually hasn't seen a photo of Probe.
I've only seen photos of Neeb.
You've only seen Probe cosplaying. Oh god.
Alright, well, Probe is coming out with the Warp Prism. Forge is going to be on the way, and he is just looking to be very aggressive. I don't think he's really have the opportunity to do so, though. MeomaikA is really ramping up that unit production. MeomaikA is turning it around. He's the one that's going to be aggressive now.
Yeah, Probe kind of having to change up his plans as he was looking to be aggressive, but now he's on the back foot. He will have to be defensive here as more and more lanes are flooding across the map for MeomaikA. And, oh, Burrow was actually on the way there for a second, but he did cancel it. Kind of teasing us. Oh my god! Look at what MeomaikA has behind this.
Oh, I like it, Light.
Say it.
I am Reek. Two base! I can do better. Two base Mooless coming out here in the Texas Bar and Grill.
I just realized that you haven't tried out your Australian accent this entire tournament, and I'm disappointed.
Well, you see, Probe is coming in on the back foot, and I tell you what, like, +1 weapons is good in both defensive and aggressive scenarios. I sound more Kiwi.
Beautiful. And as we see Probe, he's kind of contained on 2 bases. It does look like he is trying to deal some damage with his Warp Prism, but so far, MeomaikA on top of his defense.
Ooh, double Stargate gonna be coming out on top of this from Probe. That's interesting. Okay, I did not see that coming when he was going for a Twilight Robo opening, but
well, yeah, I imagine it's because when he went with his War Prism to deal harass at the 3rd base, he actually spotted the Spire being made. So this could be a direct counter to what he scouted.
It's, yeah, probably gonna have to be. We're likely gonna be seeing a bunch of Phoenixes starting to be pumped out. It's interesting that he went with that he's gonna go for Mass Phoenix instead of Archons, though. Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe he wants to use his gas for something else, but then again, Phoenixes cost gas, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely argue that Probe, maybe he's a little bit more confident in his own ability to multitask and micro, as, you know, Phoenixes, that's kind of what they take, as opposed to Archons. They're also a lot more mobile because of that, right? So,
yeah,
you know, there is a lot of possibilities with them.
Yeah, that's also something that I kind of forgot about for a split second, but it is very real. It's, you know, stylistic choices. Probe might just like his Phoenixes more than he likes his Archons.
Oh my god, there are a lot of lanes, and it looks like MeomaikA's trying to surround the army.
He is, and you know what? Like, you know what? I'm actually so happy right now for MeomaikA. He made Ravages. I am so proud of the enemy's Pro Zerg player, because now look at, he is getting those surrounds that he absolutely needs. I tell you what, like, if this was MeomaikA in the previous game, wouldn't have been able to do that, because again, no Pro Surviles. But it looks like he's not going to be able to bring it home just yet. Pretty good Immortal juggling from Probe, in addition with the Phoenixes just pumping out.
Yeah, the Immortal juggling was amazing from Probe, and he was able to keep all of his Immortals alive and just barely hold on. He did lose all of his sentries, but again, like, he was able to survive and keep the 3rd base as well, so well worth it in the end from Probe. And now we have all these Phoenixes. As a response, MeomaikA not going for Mutalists, but instead getting Corruptors.
Okay, I mean, they are technically the counter to Phoenixes, so that's definitely a plus. Yeah, but they're pretty good at taking out buildings, and I don't know though. I don't know just how much retention they have, how much they scale later on to this game. I guess you could get Brute Lords, but is that really what you want to get in the CVP?
I honestly, I kind of like it as a response to these Phoenixes, because it's going to be so annoying when MeomaikA with his Roach Ravager tries to engage and, like, Phoenixes just come in and slowly pick off the Ravagers. So Corruptors will definitely help in these big army engagements. But other than that, MeomaikA's going to have to try and find some use for them, like when it comes to, like, trying to harass with Caustic Spray and try and, you know, take down some buildings as well, maybe some production. We'll see, as this Warp Prism, it is
production or buildings.
Yeah.
All right, Probe side, and he decided not worth it.
The Warp Prism!
Nope, right out of there. The Warp Prism does get sniped with 2 Zelts inside of it, so not the costliest thing in the world, but it does mean that Probe is not going to be on the map for a while. He is still going to have his Phoenixes out. He is still going to be trying to deny Overlords, but in terms of actual map presence, that has just gone so in favor of MeomaikA, as he looks to take full advantage of that. distracting the army of Probe with the Corruptors. He knows, Probe knows that Caustic Spray could really cost him a building or two.
It can, and it does look like the Corruptors are kind of getting trapped in a corner here by Probe. At the same time, though, MeomaikA, he's pushing in with his main army into the natural.
Doesn't know about the fourth. He doesn't know about the fourth.
He doesn't know about the fourth. Now he does. Now he's going for it. At the same time, looks like the main army's gonna fight.
Yeah. Looks like it is. Here's the juggling coming out from Probe. The Warp Prism came out in the right nick of time. CC on these Phoenixes are invaluable right now. The Ravagers are gone, and as they come out, they do get lifted once again. This is once again Probe showing off his Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. credentials.
Yeah, and all the Ravagers get sniped by the Phoenixes, and all of the Corruptors, they got taken out a little bit too fast. They were trying to focus down the Phoenixes, but they just weren't enough. There were only like 5 Corruptors, and they all got focused down by the ground army of Probe. And now MeomaikA, he didn't even cancel the fourth. Like, he was trying to like attack and pressure the fourth at the same time, but it did go up in the end. Will it stay up though?
Yeah, I think MeomaikA could have been a little bit more decisive in that push out. Yeah. Because otherwise now, we wouldn't have to deal with a fourth base.
Yeah.
Alright, what could potentially be the final fight is starting to come in. If what either player takes a really good engagement here, it should just snowball to a victory here.
MeomaikA is pushing through.
If he is... Yeah, Probe cannot juggle 4 Immortals at the same time. He can juggle 2.
Yeah, he can juggle 2, and he does keep 2 alive, but the rest of Probe's army went down. He just has the Phoenixes. Oh, he lost one of the Immortals as well.
That he did. There is only 1 Immortal up left. A lot of shield batteries in both the natural and the third. So Probe should be able to survive for quite some time. But MeomaikA is pumping out units left and right. How long can those shield batteries last?
It looks like because of this, MeomaikA will be able to kill the fourth base. He isn't able to take down the third. As you were saying, there was just so much static defense there that was able to actually save that third base. So MeomaikA kills the army, but doesn't end the game.
Yeah. Once again, just a testament to Probe's defense, or how he plays defensively.
Yeah, it was looking really bad for him, and to say the least, Probe, he is still in a hard position. Like, he lost all of his robo units except for that 1 Immortal, so he does have a lot to rebuild. I will say he is kind of at a disadvantage right now, but we'll see if he's able to make something out of this situation. Maybe go for like a strong 3-base push and with a fourth behind it. Maybe we'll see.
We shall see. Gonna be going to get that fourth base in a different location. MeomaikA as well gonna be ramping up those bases, getting that economy once again up, but not really teching into the late game. No infestation pit as of yet.
Yeah, no infestation pit, no hive, which means no greater spire, no broodlords either. MeomaikA is kind of just stuck with this ling, which is probably a good thing. We don't want to tempt MeomaikA with the thought of maybe I should go ultras. I'm pretty far ahead. I could maybe pull it off.
I don't know, man. I took out a good number of Immortals back there. You know.
Yeah, I reset the. It could work. Then he immediately dies. God damn it.
And here comes the Caustic Spray, and it's doing pretty well. Oh, he's gonna take out. Here's the thing, he's gonna take out the Robo facility, and that's where he gets the ultras.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? I think so.
I think he is. That should just about be enough DPS there. Damage was ramping up, and actually Probe's Sky Army.
Yeah.
It's gone.
All the Phoenixes are dead.
These Corruptors. Yeah, these Corruptors. So long as they don't run into Archons, they can take out that Warp Prism.
Ooh, Probe does spot the army, and he does have the Archons in front to soak the damage for the Banelings. Will it be enough though? He doesn't have any more Immortals, just these 3.
And this was a fantastic position for Probe to come in on, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. MeomaikA does snipe the Warp Prism, and I think he's going to go all the way home, Light.
He's done it. He's done it. He's broken the army for Probe. And with that, his entire army goes down. At the same time, Probe did take out the fourth base for MeomaikA, so there was some counter harassment done, but there's nothing to stop the main army. It's pushing through.
Yeah, MeomaikA got a little bit tempted there. He got a little bit tempted to move back, but GG is called. MeomaikA does it without ultras.
Thank God. Thank God. GG. And yeah, like that was looking pretty close there for quite a while. MeomaikA was just able to close it out there using his corruptors like pretty well, able to take out the robo and stop any mortal production, kind of forcing Probe's hand in a way.
That he did. That was some pretty genius moves right there. Would you say so myself? But yeah, impressed. I think look, I'm just really happy that MeomaikA made Ravagers in the CVP.
Yeah, like you're right in pointing that out, where he didn't really do it against Pez.
And because of that, Pez just abused the position, or the position that MeomaikA was on, just used those force fields and essentially isolated the armies. Not even in half, but in 3/3 even. This time, MeomaikA's wise to that. He knows.
Yeah. Let's hope he doesn't get too wise and throw down, like, go fast Hive and throw down an Ultra Cavern or something. We've seen how that ends.
That we have.
For people watching, if you haven't seen the VODs for Grand Platypus Open number 25, I believe it was, MeomaikA versus Beastork. It's quite a series.
MeomaikA, he was so ahead that game. He was so ahead that game, and then he thought, "Oh yeah, this game is going on for a while. I should get into Hive Tech." My Beastork, he has a ton of immortals. I know just the thing. Say no more.
Yeah, it was MeomaikA on like 5 or 6 bases, Hive Tech,
versus
maxed out
3, or not even 3, and he's more like 2.5 because his main was already mining out.
Beastork on 2.5 bases, like 120, 130 supply, maybe 150 max, and yeah, it was not a good
max.
Yeah. If you're a Zerg player, watch. I'll give you a trigger warning. It's pretty rough, but definitely a series to see.
It is something to behold. It's a duality of MeomaikA, if you will.
God.
But I guess sometimes it's what they say, Genius is not often understood, and speaking of genius, here we have it then, over in the 12-ish o'clock position of map, spawning in the 12-ish o'clock position of Purity and Industry. LE, of course, standing for... It's right in front of me, but I can't say it because it's part of the intro. It is... LE, of course, stands for... Long... No, Afro starts with A. Long... Long... Eternal. Long Eternal. That's, technically the truth. In the 12-ish o'clock position map, starting in the 12-ish o'clock position map, we have the blue Protoss. He is looking a little rough in that game number 1. He is representing Legacy Esports as happening. As Australia. It is Probe.
And spawning in the 3 o'clock position, going for a proxy hatch once again, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Far East Society Gaming. It is MeomaikA.
I like it.
As you were doing the intro, I was looking and I was like, yo, there's no pool. He's proxying. It's happening.
I saw that there was no pool and I thought, yes, I can go longer.
That's not what it meant at all. Not when it comes to MeomaikA, at least. If there's no pool, something's wrong.
Yeah. And speaking of something wrong, this hatch is dangerously low. Dangerously low. No, it does get to cancel. Does not quite get the Evo chamber block here.
Yeah, not quite.
It does dive right in.
Yeah, and it looks like this worker here for MeomaikA is looking to be annoying, looking to delay that natural for as long as possible. We'll see if Probe pulls a Pez and accidentally misplaces his Nexus. as you know that could have led also to Pez's downfall in that series.
He's a mind freak, man.
He is on Mind Freak. What?
Anyway, MeomaikA gonna be coming out of this with a fairly quick, or at least quick relative to when you take a proxy hatch.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's macroing out, he's transitioning out, you know, getting his third base up and running, which is quite nice to see. Meanwhile, we do have Link Speed on the way as well. Something that's a little bit interesting is that there it is. We finally have an Adept in production for Probe, a little bit late. So we're not going to see harassing Adepts for quite a while, and it was late because of that early Robo.
Yeah, indeed it was. I'm thinking we're going to be seeing a Warp Prism come down very, very soon. Probe going to be looking to take advantage of this rush distance. MeomaikA going to have to pull a Cats here.
Yeah, and again, as we saw, Probe with that Sentry was warding away that Overlord, and MeomaikA, he hasn't seen the Robo. He doesn't know that this is the tech that Probe has decided to go for. So this could completely catch him off guard. We'll see, as I imagine a War Prism will be on the way. Yeah.
Stargate going to be coming out behind this. Alrighty then. Okay, there is a Warp Prism. I had my doubts after the Stargate got plopped down, but yeah, that's about what you... Ooh! Is it going to be... No, it can't be. I was thinking maybe Warp Prism Phoenix and both have them move across the map, and... No, actually, it still could be. Because the Phoenix could CC the Queen, and the Warp Prism could just warp in a bunch of units. Yeah, that could be something to do.
It is definitely possible. It does seem like they aren't going to line up, but it will be like a 1-2 punch sort of thing. As the War Prism is finishing up, there are already Adepts ready to be ferried across.
Oh, going for the island.
Oh,
going for the island. I like
it. It got further.
But I don't think he suspects the island. I don't think he suspects the island.
I think the Overlord's on the way. Is it? Is it on the way to scout? But that was insane. As soon as he... Oh my god.
All right, so a 2 for 2 today.
2 for 2.
Yeah. Sharon plays taking that island.
I've never seen a turn player take that island, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Debbie was the first player.
Once. I've seen Cure do it once and never again.
And I love this because Probe went for the Stargate, he's going to be able to clear out the Overlords. As we saw, the Phoenixes are going to make sure that this doesn't get scouted.
This is big brain.
This is the biggest of brains.
You know what? MeomaikA, he's got a galaxy brain. Probe, he's got a universe brain.
That he does, and we'll see how this turns out. But so far, Probe with just... I love it, taking the island base of all places, securing his third, and we'll see what MeomaikA, what he's able to do. What's going through his mind right now?
Well, apparently Ling Flood with roaches behind it, MeomaikA is going to be very, very aggressive. He doesn't really know what Probe is up to, but he should have his suspicions.
Yeah, he's going for the third base that isn't there.
There we go. I think... Man, what is going through MeomaikA's head at this point when you see there's no third base, there's a Void Race? What are you up to, pal?
Yeah, I mean, MeomaikA, he is here in position to defend his third base. He is getting a Spire as well. I don't necessarily think that that's to go for the island. I just, I think just to deal with the Phoenixes, he may be going for Corruptors. And it could work out for him. Like, if MeomaikA decides to go for Mutalisk instead, he could, perchance come across the island. I don't know. It's definitely possible. Even though he's on 3 bases, it may not matter. Like, MeomaikA is macroing up like normal anyway.
That he is. Quick Colossus coming out from Probe. So MeomaikA knows he can't quite hemorrhage units at his Protoss opponent like it looked like he wanted to do. He's going to be, once again, just macroing up, getting to the next stage of his tech.
Yeah, and I have to imagine that MeomaikA, because he's constantly scouting with his Lings and he sees that Probe is on 2 bases, I feel like he has a big enough brain to connect the dots and be like, hold on, something's not quite right here. Like, the math doesn't add up. You have all of this tech. You have Colossus on 2 bases.
Overlord, Meo. Just send A Overlord, MeomaikA.
I mean, he's finally gonna get Overlord speed, so maybe he was just waiting for that.
Or maybe he's waiting to get these 8 Corruptors so that he can snipe the Nexus. Then what are you gonna do, Probe?
If he snipes, is there static D? No, there's no. There is a single photon cannon, but Corruptors can be positioned.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, 4th base going to be secured for MeomaikA, and once again, just keeping the pressure on. He is actually going straight for Probe right now. Maybe trying to deny this 4th base.
I mean, with Corruptors especially, he's able to kill the Stargate units, and he can also kill the Colossus.
The Colossus. This is... Oh, but that's a lot of Void Rays with Prismatic Alignment and the shield batteries behind it. MeomaikA is going to have to be very careful with how he engages that. It's possible for him to try to get those Void Rays out of position, so they're not covered by the shield battery, and then again, you know, once you're in Prismatic Alignment mode, you can kite them fairly easily. But yeah, that's a bit of a bit ask to do against Probe.
Yeah, he's trying to find some damage done. He's also checking the 3rd base location again with his Corruptors. Oh, is he going for the island? Does he know?
I don't think he knows, but I think he's gonna check it just to be sure.
Exactly, I think he suspects. Like, he has a big enough range. He has, like, something's not right in this game, so he's just checking, and he will be able to spot this space, and we'll see if there's a recall.
And here comes the Kirovs.
Here it comes. I feel like there's enough here.
A lot of roaches. Oh, he can deny. Yeah. He can deny +1. He can deny +1. MeomaikA.
He doesn't deny it. Probe, recall your probes. Please save them. Save them, Probe.
Nah.
No.
Nah, I don't need that. It was a temporary outpost.
I just checked. He didn't have enough energy anyway. He couldn't have recalled. His macro was too on point, but it may not matter. Probe, he's pushing out across the map, and the roaches are on the island.
Base race. Roaches are on the island. That's actually a good chunk of MeomaikA's army. MeomaikA is about to be maxed out, but if you look at it, what is his army? Corruptors and roaches. They can do well against this army, but at the same time, it just as easily could do badly.
Oh my god, you said it.
To the main.
Base race. He's going for the counterattack.
All right, these Corruptors are pouncing on top of the Void Rays, and they are getting quite a few. These Colossus cannot kill the Corruptors fast enough. The Void Rays are gone, and here comes a reinforcement of Stalkers. Probe has been able to hold this, but just barely. Meanwhile, over in his main, Blink has just been denied. I think MeomaikA is going to go up to match point light.
I think he may have broken Probe. He killed the 3rd base. He's dealing all this economic damage. He killed all the Void Rays and Colossus as well. It's just Stalkers pressuring MeomaikA, and he can afford to lose bases. He isn't stuck on 2 bases like Probe is. Or Probe's stuck on like 1 base, really.
Indeed, he is. Not even going to commit to killing this. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Probe.
I mean, it was on fire. It would have burned down.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There it is, and all these lings are flooding in as well from MeomaikA. It looks like Probe is going to be able to like stabilize his main base at least, you know, clear everything up, but it's going to be a tough ask to hold his own 3rd base that he's trying to take on the top left side of the map.
That is going to be very tricky. How good are the odds that MeomaikA takes that base for himself now?
Yes. Just to make a statement, he even leaves the pylon there.
Yeah. He'll make a spine, but move the spine just out of range of that pylon. Yeah.
Oh my god, the geyser is on fire.
It's gonna burn down light. Okay, this is just about the final stand for Probe. He knows he needs to make this happen. Blink, again, was denied. So this is going to be very tricky for Probe. He's going to have to use his sentries to the best of his ability. But MeomaikA, he's learned from the past. Look at how many Ravagers he's got. And coming in on the flank. Meanwhile, the Corruptors are taking out the Warp Prism. This is looking like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good position for Probe as he's using the terrain to his advantage, and he's trying to force field as well to trade as best he can, and, you know, he is doing a fairly good job.
Yeah, MeomaikA cannot just randomly decide, I'm going to go through that choke point, because what happens when the sentries put up force field, half that army? Meanwhile, the disruptors are coming out for Probe, and I like it. That is going to be the saving grace for Probe. Pretty much the only way he can really contest this army of MeomaikA right now.
Yeah, the Hail Mary play right now, the disruptor shots could do wonders.
Go, Probe, go, go.
Oh, Jesus, that was a lot of link kills.
It was a lot of link kills, but look at how many links are left.
Yeah. Just checking on the disruptor, 21 links were killed in that shot, so he traded well, but he lost his third base for it.
That was insane. This is insane coming out from MeomaikA. I mean, that in general, that statement is generally factual. It's correct. But
it's not really related to this game.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. MeomaikA with that max out. Probe trying to fight some counter damage wherever he can. And you know what? If MeomaikA is, if his attention is elsewhere, Probe can come back.
He could, especially because MeomaikA, he's going for Mutalisk of all things. He's utilizing that Spire. Meanwhile, though, Blink is on the way, so Probe could deal with that. But here we have MeomaikA pushing into the third base of Probe.
We'll have to see Probe being very cautious of his Purification Novas as he has to be. Ooh, that was a pretty good connection, but the disruptors did get sniped. And I think this is about, the writing is on the wall. The Mutalisk starting to snipe these sentries. And what else is there here for Probe?
Nothing.
That's it. GG MeomaikA against the Australian StarCraft 2 player, the top player, the ambassador, already taking match point.
Exactly. Like we were talking about it, Probe, he is the two-time ESL ANZ fueled by Dare Cup Open. It's a long name. Champion. He has won 2 of these. MeomaikA did face Probe in the finals of, I believe it was Dare Cup number 2, I believe. And he did get taken out 3-0.
It was 1 and 2 that MeomaikA made the finals of.
Yes, 1 he went up against Seether, 2 was Probe. So MeomaikA, like, he did go down pretty hard the last time they faced each other, but this time he's already up 2-0 in this series. He could win at 3-0. Could completely wipe the floor with Probe, and that's a story to tell.
That is a storyline, Steel. That is, you don't get storylines like that.
Yeah, I would love to see a back and forth rivalry between these two players throughout the weeks. As I mentioned before, I would still say MeomaikA, he's the best in C. Probe, the best in OCE. You know, these are kind of the two like champions of the region.
They are the 2 champions. We need a battle royale. We need Gogo Joey, MeomaikA, Demi, and Probe. And just watch Probe just turtle in the corner and like, all right, PvZ time. Let's go.
Yeah, and you know, we could throw Seether in there for good measure.
Yeah, he's a wild card.
Yeah,
Just get
the wild card.
Yeah.
The wild card would be Chase. Chase, we throw Chase in there. Chase, please. I did see him in the chat earlier. Unfortunately, Chase didn't sign up today. Otherwise, he probably would have been a favorite to go to the finals. Let's be real here. But yeah.
Chase versus MeomaikA game.
That would be insane. That would be an insane series.
It would be.
As we do get ready for potentially the final game.
Potentially. Is not been decided yet. We only know via the actions of what takes place within the actual game itself.
What do you think Probe has to do? What does Probe have to do to bring it back?
Two base. Wait.
You gotta say two base Mula.
Cannon Force.
Needs to roll Zerg.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Light. There's a lot of possibilities coming in here on Nightshade LE, otherwise known as Belladonna LE. As we all know, LE stands for LOL. EDM. LOL EDM. We're gonna do two acronyms there.
What does LOL EDM stand for? God damn it.
That's a fun little game for you to find out. In the bottom right-hand corner map, starting in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss representing Legacy Esports. He is the absolute favorite to come in here. Probably, as we all know, probably the top C/OCE player, definitely the top ANZ player, and also the two-time ESL Open Cup Dare champion who defeated his opponent 3-0. This time, can he do it again? Representing Legacy Esports out of Australia, it is Probe.
He's pulling the boys. He's trying to deal with this as... waiting for the intro. In the top left-hand corner, also in the natural of Probe, we have the best player in Southeast Asia, the top Vietnamese player, the top cat himself, representing Far East Society Gaming. It is MeomaikA.
We figured it out, like, we figured it out. Why MeomaikA is doing really well this series. It's all about that hatch.
I mean, it kind of is, you know, it does delay the natural for quite a long time. And like little things like this, throwing off the build, the opener for your opponent, it can kind of lead to a lot of advantages, you know, like it kind of throws off all these timings.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I can tell you that just from experience, like when even the slightest throw off for me, I could go from making a decent amount of workers to making 30. So it's that kind of mentality thing where it throws you off and it's hard to really recover subconsciously. And that's something that, you know, players from all levels kind of deal with.
Yeah, at the same time, I will say that this is potentially good practice for Probe. Like, the more practice you have against something like this, the more comfortable you are in this scenario. And overall, that's probably a good thing for a player to have. So I do think, especially a player like MeomaikA, like he prepares you for almost anything. Like the more and more you play against him, yeah, like
he prepares you for anything except for certainty.
Exactly. So maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe, you know, macro throws you off after that. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see these two clashes of styles, kind of, you know.
Yeah, another interesting clash of style here, as we were talking about Probe and Agent of Shield. But now MeomaikA looking to be very aggressive. Oh, he canceled it?
Yeah, he canceled it.
Oh, okay then. Well, he's still looking to push out across the map. It's just this time with Roaches instead of Lingbane. They go for that very aggressive third base location.
Yeah, I was very surprised seeing the bailiness because that's something that we haven't seen from MeomaikA so far today. We haven't seen Bane bust. I was getting kind of excited, but it just changes his mind in the end.
Well, will he pull what he pulled versus Pez? That was what he did versus Pez, right? No, that was Chappie. Or no, that wasn't Chappie. No, wait, I'm confused.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Who? It was Chappie that pulled the Queens versus... was it Probe?
Chappie pulled the Queens against Probe, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we'll see if MeomaikA pulls the Chappie here. But it's actually going to be a Nidus, so MeomaikA is going to pull a MeomaikA. It's what he did versus Pez.
Exactly. MeomaikA, he takes care of his queen. He doesn't make them go for long treks across the map. Instead, he goes for the Nidus. He ferries them. You know, he takes care of his queens. I like it. good.
Yeah. Gotta keep them queens in mint condition.
And he does, and we'll see where the knight decides to go down. Goes down outside the natural.
Ooh,
does it get spotted?
Does it get spotted?
Oh.
Probe.
Oh.
Probe is so close to finding it,
it.
and now he does.
Is he going to be able to stop it from going up?
Yeah, with 2... Oh, maybe not. I underestimated that, but this was arguably better because now there are 3 queens with nowhere to escape.
Exactly. 3 queens essentially for free. He does lose a bit of health there on the Oracle, but it completely worth it. He was able to completely shut this push down. And MeomaikA's forced back.
And that's what we may call professionally an oof. Gonna transition to Hydralist again. I do like this quite a bit. Coming in from MeomaikA. We try to counter that that Stargate that he kind of, or that Stargate composition that he thinks is coming for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I like about MeomaikA's play. You know, he had plan A. Now we're on to plan B. You know, as soon as that happened, he immediately threw down the Hydra Den. It's already done. He's already working on his upgrades. So he does have like a transition already underway. But still, really good job there by Probe, stopping that Nidus and catching those queens.
Yeah, he almost didn't. Ooh. And that's a scary part to me.
Yeah.
He almost didn't. All right, both players are starting to ramp up their micro or their macro. Both of them seemingly wanting to go for some kind of timing attack. MeomaikA with Roach Hydra, Probe with good old-fashioned Soul Train.
I'm a little bit surprised that Probe, he's still only on 2 bases. He hasn't attempted to go for a third. And he's got all these Immortals. He has all these Sentries as well. He could just be going for a strong push.
I think that's going to be the plan here. One Prism is almost about done. And yeah, Probe is maybe not an all-in, but definitely a really strong timing attack. He wants to delay his third until the point where he moves out because he needs the resources devoted to getting as many units out and getting the upgrades. Yeah,
and there we have it. He finally starts his third base. The War Prism is just about to come out, so it looks like he will probably push out with his Immortals, his Sentries, and his War Prism to apply some pressure, which honestly he needs to do. Right now, MeomaikA, like, the world is his oyster. You know, he's just expanding. He's got a 4th base on the way. He's journeying up. He's taking up as well. I feel like something needs to be done about him, so he can't get away with this.
He can't keep getting away with it. He does especially get a cancel on that 3rd base, and Probe cannot be happy about that right now.
Yeah, that was so close as well. I was thinking maybe with the force fields he's able to save his 3rd base, but he is forced to cancel in the end, and that's gonna hurt for Probe. Just delaying his economy so much more than it already was.
Yeah, indeed it is, but that might not matter if MeomaikA just goes into a defended position and throws away the army. Ooh, good force fields coming out here from Probe. That's essentially the Ling's gone. That is essentially the Ling's gone, and MeomaikA, well, Lings aren't the most useful units here, but he definitely needs some kind of a buffer here. And you know, if they can catch out units and get them surrounded, that's an added benefit. Hello, Adept, just watching.
Just watching the army, yeah.
Yes, that's just an army.
I wish I was an observer.
Yeah. Alright, MeomaikA coming in. The Archons are not quite done yet, but they are very soon. There are no shield batteries here. Light, I think he's done it. A clean sweep from our Vietnamese Zerg player. That was some revenge if I've ever seen one. Wowee.
Wow, GG, well played. Like, okay, after Probe, he stopped the Nidus and he was able to snipe those queens. Like, he was looking in a pretty good position. I was waiting to see what his follow-up was, but he never really got into the groove of things after that. I was waiting for him to push out across the map, but he never quite did, and instead it was MeomaikA who came across, and Probe just wasn't ready for it. There weren't any shield batteries ready for him, and the Immortals were just caught out, and they immediately got focused down. Oh my GG, MeomaikA 3-0.
3-0 after being 0-3 himself. By probe.
Oh my god.
He's been in the finals a bunch of times, and by a bunch of times, I mean literally 3/4, 75%. But now he brings it all the way home, Light. What a series, and what a tournament.
Yeah, MeomaikA wasn't the player that I was expecting to see in the finals, honestly, especially after, like, in the semis, seeing MeomaikA versus Pez. I was kind of favoring Pez in that position, especially after Pez has been, like, on a PvZ, like, tear recently. He was able to take down MeomaikA, Demi, and Gogo Joey in recent weeks, but yeah, MeomaikA, it looks like he's kind of been training himself in the matchup, and we've seen he has a lot of variety, a lot of proxies, a lot of Nidus play as well. Spire, like he was kind of, it almost seemed like
it's a kitchen sink.
Yeah, he was kind of going all over the place, but at the same time, he was in one place, you know? Like it was, he there was madness.
That's very deep.
Yeah, exactly. He was. It's MeomaikA. That's what it is. That's
his galaxy brain transcends us all.
Exactly. There's just too much happening for us mere mortals to understand. Maybe only Chase can.
It is possible. Oh. And yeah, I think that I should about cover it for us today, Light. Once again, you're gonna give a little bit of a shout out here to our sponsor, Dare Iced Coffee. If you need a refresher, get it today.
Not available in Singapore or Philippines or any Southeast Asian country. But shout out to Dare for being the main sponsor for this tournament. Without Dare, this tournament just wouldn't be a thing. So thank you so much for supporting the scene, for supporting ANZ, Oceanic, Southeast Asian StarCraft. It's amazing that they're able to do this in these times. And it's also why, like, if you're following the StarCraft scene, the online scene, the ESL Open Cups proper, they started quite a while ago. These have only just recently started, as this is the 4th edition. And yeah, hopefully if these do well enough, Dare are going to be willing to sponsor more, as at the moment they've only confirmed until August that they're going to be running these tournaments. And then after August, they'll evaluate, they'll judge how they've turned out, when it comes to viewership and signups and so on. So hopefully we make it worthwhile for them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want more of these, get more people to watch. The viewership is gonna be what Dare is probably gonna be looking at, or ESL, I suppose.
ESL and Dare. Hopefully they'll also take into account Probe as well, as he does usually stream his POV, and thus also puts more eyes on the tournament. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, like, I'm hoping for the best. But
Maynard wasn't talks.
Exactly, yeah. Maynard is, currently working on something else with Dare, not a tournament series, but maybe some kind of video series. I'm not too sure. So do look out for that. And other than that, Yaku, who are you? Who even are you?
Oh man, what are you, my therapist? Well, you can find me over at twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @EmporiaYakuzaku, ! Discord in the chat, and it will bring you to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server, which is probably the easiest way to reach me. And buy my shirts.
Yeah, and shout out to Kuro. I don't know if you were around earlier, if you're watching, but Kuro did cast the game. Did cast game number 3 between MeomaikA and Pez. So yeah, shout out to Kuro as well for providing with her casting, as well as observing, production, graphics, all that good stuff at 16 Squad Senseki. And yeah, thank you so much to Yeah, Dare Steal in the chat as well.
Light,
Jet
where
for
can
subscribing.
We find you?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter if you want to follow me, as I do stream occasionally. I cast here as well. I admin, I run events. Yeah. More importantly, follow the CranKy Ducklings if you want to tune in to more StarCraft. Whether it's ANZ StarCraft, NA StarCraft, we're casting a lot these days. Like 7-8 times a week. It's borderline too much, but we're hanging in there.
We're trying to push that borderline.
Yeah, we're trying to balance, you know, just on the edge of too much, but not quite. We'll see who breaks first. Oh god. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and
see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you next week.